life is so simple, but like people don't understand. If you're a man, if you're a man that you were in a 10-year relationship and it fails, you don't go down to no STKs. No, you don't go down to the club.
What do?
You go to Colombia.
Yeah, but all right, you went to Colombia. You had a
But
great
no,
time.
but I'm saying you gotta go out of the country. You gotta start traveling the world.
But what if they've already been traveling?
You weren't traveling the world the same if you were in a 10-year committed, faithful relationship. You're not traveling the world the same. So now you need to travel the world freely. And then once you travel the world freely, you learn so much. You become so hip like that. You come back, you're already a fly guy. Promise you.
Okay.
Promise you. Then you could go to the club. You do the clubs in Miami second. You go travel first.
Do you think that the first thing, if you broke up from a 10-year relationship, the first thing you should think about is what you want?
No.
So you could know what your approach is? Do you want to go back into a long-term relationship?
No. No man does.
I think you definitely need to know. No, I just think as a person, you need to know what the goal is. Do you want a long-term relationship? Do you want to just hang out? Do you want to just run the streets? Because your approach is going to be different. How you interact with people is going to be different. The number of people you deal with is going to be different. The way you even communicate with people is going to be different. You know, because if you want something, you're going to probably pursue, like you're going to be consistent with talking to certain women, you know, on a consistent basis. But if you just kind of like whatever, you just out here playing the streets, trying to see what's what.
But Rico posted something earlier. The messaging is wrong.
What do you mean?
If a woman breaks up, the first thing they say, oh, girl, go out there, fuck as many people as you want and do whatever you want.
That's not what I would do.
But the messaging is wrong. The message is like, go do...
Aaron, that is what you would do.
No, that's not what I would do.
You said that's what you would do.
No, you've never heard me say that.
On episode Getting Over a Man, she said find one that does the same hobbies as you and go out there.
But I didn't say just go out there and have sex with people.
Well, you said have sex with ones that qualify. It's the same thing.
But no, it's not. Anyway, if I was coming out of a long-term relationship, first things first, stunt. If you're not committed to a diet and an exercise routine, go get your body done. If you ain't never had facials, if you ain't never had injections, Botox, or you thinning hair, go get your face fixed, go get your hair fixed. You need to look your best.
So physical is important.
Absolutely.
This is from a woman's perspective.
I think a man should do the same thing.
Well, a man's here. You can speak for a man.
Well,
I want to hear from a woman.
Okay, from a woman's perspective.
Because I'm pushing you in a sense of saying missed messages. Like the messages are so wrong that women who end up out of long-term relationships think they could go back out there like they're 22.
Then they can't.
Well, that's why I'm saying go get yourself together. Like, if you don't
become competitive with the market.
To go look like you're 22.
No.
Pretty much.
No. To stunt on the nigga you not with no more. First and foremost. Like, first and foremost.
Why?
You have to.
He doesn't even care.
He does care. Don't ever... Okay. You don't ever think... Let's say a man and a woman, they're together, they get divorced or whatever, they have kids. He always want to be around. He always care who you messing with. Not because they around his kids. It's just because he still think he got you or control you or want to, you know, have something over you. Let's come on. Let's be real. You know that for a fact.
I don't think so. Because
Well,
I think that you might have met different men in your life.
I don't.
Like, I'm not saying you dealt with them, but like you're speaking from a perspective of what a woman has told you is going on with the men that was within your vicinity of people.
No. See, this is what you don't understand. The majority of my friends are men. Like, I grew up a tomboy.
Well, same thing, same difference. Like I said, you met different men.
Right, and that may be the case.
I didn't know.
But it's not women telling me this.
Well, even if typically men who do talk to women often are most like women. So I think that those men may possess women characteristics like that. So if it depends on how things end. Now, if a man is truly done with the woman and the woman is truly done with the man, and we're gonna use this as a variable for our
Let's say they live in separate states, so seeing each other is not an issue anymore.
Well, yeah, seeing each other, but they're also evenly done with each other, right? I'm not saying like, okay, one messed up and then they broke up. Of course, that man has regret.
Lingering, no
Yeah,
lingering.
there's no lingering feelings. Like, we're done with each other.
Somebody's not lingering.
Not, yeah. And it's, I mean, to me, in my life, women, usually it's the women lingering and they always come back.
In my life, it's always been the men lingering.
See, that's why we here. So,
He's giving you time.
you didn't want to dap me up.
So,
It's cool.
oh, I didn't even see
Yeah,
your
it's
hand.
cool.
She's not checking for you.
That's cool. It was all right. Let's go put the pillow here too.
I didn't even see your hand.
I just think that, no, so from a man's perspective, when a man is done with a woman, he really, really done. I'm not saying he not going to occasionally lurk to see what she's doing, but even if she's doing better, like me,
Why is he lurking?
I mean, sometimes you want to check up on, it depends. A 10-year relationship, I'm going to want to check up and make sure you good, right? Even like, I mean, I ain't gonna, but you know, every so often.
I feel like if we done like
done,
that,
yeah.
you can go jump off a bridge.
But nah, it's
Like-
I don't have hostility for my exes.
No,
Yeah.
not hostility. I'm just saying, like, if I'm done like that, then you are the same to me as like a stranger on the street. Like, I have
don't
no
care.
desire to know what's going on within your
Now I know
life.
where that comes from for you, because you said something, and I'm going back off what you said from that exact same episode,
Mm-hmm.
how to get over an ex. You said the best way to get over an ex is to get a next person.
Mm-hmm.
I agree with that. But I only agree with that if you could get the same or better type of person to make you forget. Because that's
Word.
why people don't linger. Like, if your next person is just good and you having a good time,
You're not worried about them.
well, you're naturally not even feeling it.
That's why you go out of the country when you're a
You're
guy.
not feeling it. I'm just having.
But that's and I agree with what you're saying. So, and when I said that,
can't see. That's what most people can't accomplish that.
Yeah.
So
typically, when I made that statement, and it may not have like gotten into the clip or whatever, but I think it's important to keep your mind clear of that person. So if you're spending time with someone else, whether you want something serious with them, whether you're just hanging out, just kind of like just testing waters or whatever, I think that when your mind is idle, that's what puts you back into like, dang, I wonder what they doing. Ooh, let me go see what's going on their page. Ooh, why he talking to her? Like, you know what I mean? Like, when your mind is not occupied by something or someone else, then that's how you end up in that situation.
yeah, but is it healthy occupation of your mind?
And that's why I
think so.
And this is why, going back to what I was saying, and maybe it's what she just said will help me elaborate on it and the reasons why. When I say travel the country, right? Mm-hmm. When you travel the country, and let's say you do it single with your friends, right? You are now allowed to, you don't have to search for something. You're already in a euphoric place. Your mind is already off of whatever is back at home. And
You change your environment.
you change your environment, and then on top of that, what ends up happening is you're actually, for the first time probably since the breakup, you could live presently in that moment and live freely in that moment, and you can actually have fun without your partner.
But question for you.
Yeah.
What if you were in the type of relationship that the most beautiful moments of your life is the ones
that
you want
person?
to share with that person?
Well, I think,
Like, let's say you in Colombia, you having the time of your life, and
when I share that with a person, absolutely.
but there happens to be like a sunset or something.
I got
Or
a moment like
something.
that. Yeah.
And then you like, damn.
Yeah, I got a moment like that.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like how they say that when you have money, you have all the money in the world, but if you don't got real people that you love and care about to share it with, it's almost meaningless.
Yeah.
So how do you get past that?
Well, I do think in a severity standpoint, if there is a person that was like that with all of those special moments, typically you guys wouldn't break up on an evenly playing field, right? But let's just say if it does happen, right? We're going with it does, and it did, right? It'll actually, like me personally, and I'm just speaking from a personal experience, I smile at that moment, and it is a little bit of a, damn, but it also is like, at least I'm here again. Because those moments, the person doesn't make those moments, they add to those moments, right? So let's just say if it was a beautiful sunset over the horizon of the ocean in Cholon, right? right? It's still gonna be beautiful with or without that person. Now, could it also be a reminder? Yes, but like I said, the level of euphoric and utopia and paradise that you have in that moment is still nonetheless a beautiful thing.
Don't you think don't you think that's the reason? And I think people don't admit this. Don't you think that's the reason why sometimes toxic love is so addictive? Because there's moments that a toxic love creates that a person who's too structured don't get.
Yeah, an experience.
I don't know.
You know, like toxic love is like, if you were in Colombia and you were chilling and the sunset is coming and you with the joint and she's like, look what I got. She pulls out, let's say, a blunt. It's like, we're gonna smoke, but before we're gonna smoke, yo, I brought this girl. Like, she does these crazy shit that your system get used to, and when y'all apart, your system is looking for that energy and it can't find it.
Wouldn't that be the same with like non-toxic love? Just somebody that
question.
you. Oh, I mean, I've never experienced it, so I'm assuming that it can also exist.
I'm questioning. I don't think it could exist without a toxic energy of love. Not negative toxicity, but
Oh, so okay, I don't know the positive toxicity. What is that?
Positive toxicity, like.
Well, no, what is the positive toxicity? I really don't know.
I don't know. I think that we're not, like, you know how we talk about entrepreneurship, right? And you see somebody with like a beautiful car and you like, oh, I'm gonna get one too.
Yeah.
And the person is like, man, I took so many losses. That's why I'm winning. And the only way to the success that I have is through my losses. But the mind of a human being cannot comprehend what a loss is. It's like, what does that mean? Fucking losses? You know, losses. So now you're like, okay. And those losses, I think, are very turn-offish, right? But the person who is winning gets addicted to coming back from losses.
So like gambling, people who gamble.
Yeah, so they know they could take a loss and they could bounce back. They take a loss, they bounce, and they get bigger and stronger and bigger and stronger because the bigger they lose, they win. They lose, they win, and they keep fighting, and that becomes sort of their persona.
Yeah, those people typically lose it all though.
Yeah,
because they're addicted to the up and down.
Yeah, nothing like those people. I've watched it happen. They'll lose it all. They'll get it again, but they'll lose it all. And the problem is they're never stable.
That's like gamblers. That's the only thing I could imagine that's like.
Yeah, it is. Well, you know, life is a gamble, right? So you're gambling with love. You're gambling with money. When you have a gambler's mentality, it transitions to every phase of your life, and you constantly will lose everything, but you will regain it. You'll regain it, and it's a lot. But you got to think, these people only know a lot. These people only know a lot in every single situation, so it's never a lot. Yeah.
But I'm saying, like, to be willing to gamble in every different aspect of your life. I get gambling in losing money, losing a house, losing cars, but like gambling on someone who's like held you down or someone who's kind of been your foundation. Like, are you willing to let that go and try to find it again?
Yeah, because you gotta think, these people. It takes for you to know. You have to be able to identify foundation and stability for you to really appreciate it, right? They never identify it because they don't have it in any other phase of their life. Or if they do, it's momentarily.
So not with a person.
It doesn't matter what it is. Find somebody who's a gambler and tell me everything else that they've lost in their life. It's gonna transition. It's gonna be You can compare it to every other phase of their life. It could be their love. It could be their relationship with their friends, close ones, significant other. It could be their job, and it's gonna be their money. When you gamble, and that's why, and I'm telling, because I was a gambler. You know, I lost, and I kept losing. But yeah, I was. What?
I'm not a gambler at all.
But when I was 24 years old, and I was like, yo, I'm done living paycheck to paycheck. Like, I can't do this. I said to myself, it was November, I said, yo, I'm going to make $8,000 this month. I've never made $8,000 in a month before at that time. So I said, all right, how am I gonna do this? The first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go to the casino with my check, right? So I worked my 2 weeks. I got my $2,000 check, and then I went to the casino and I bet my entire, it was like 1,800, whatever.
One time?
I went on roulette and bet it on black,
Wow.
right? Black came out. I doubled my money, and mind you, I drove to Philly because there's no Atlantic City's far, whatever. 2 o'clock, I drove to Philly, bet, won, drove back. I'm up $3,600. Guess
So you
what?
just left. You didn't like try to.
No, I left.
Okay.
But that was the start of something else.
It's a crazy feeling.
Yeah, yo, when you hit, especially
Beating the
roulette,
odds.
yeah.
I don't want to call it gambling, to be honest. And listen, if you're a gambler, we'll put the link to Gamblers Anonymous on the bottom of this episode. And
Yeah.
gambling you could lose everything. But I think more based on what Rico was saying is beating the odds.
Yeah.
I think is more addictive to humans in relationships and in anything else. Like, if there's no odds, you're in a relationship, you're like, okay, it's okay. That's what I mean. I don't want to call it toxic.
Yeah.
You just know the odds of me finding someone to bring that energy out of me is very low. And the person you with might not bring that energy out of you.
Makes sense.
You know,
Yeah.
it's the odds are not really with you to find someone that's gonna bring this crazy psycho energy of love.
But you know what it is? People who don't fear, see, this is what you gotta think about. People who don't fear not having that type of love is willing to risk that type of love to find something more.
What do you mean?
Because if they're so used to not having a love that is stable or a love that is, super, like you can experience so much within it, if they don't fear not having it, they're able to risk it to see if there is more.
Well, again, building on what you're saying,
Yeah.
what I'm saying is that, but what if you know the odds? So let's say, for example, if you're a man, you have a good woman, you know the odds of you finding another good woman is not with you. You know those odds because you've been single. You've been out there. A woman who actually cares for you, someone who loves you, someone who's going to appreciate you, someone who's not going to judge you.
But hey.
Right? You can. See, you can go after it,
Yeah.
but the odds are not with you.
All right.
Like if you already
The numbers are simply
won,
just not in your favor.
you already winning. Why gamble?
Because you gotta think about it, right? Going back to the casino, people go to the casino all the time. There is not a game in the casino that are in your odds. And how many millions of people go and they do it every day?
I don't get it.
In the roulette.
I do. I understand.
Yeah,
it.
in roulette, right? In roulette. And I hate that I'm comparing this relationship to roulette. But in roulette, there's 35 numbers.
Oh, yeah, I play
But there's 2 zeros, there's a 0 and a double 0, so it's 37 numbers. And you're betting for one of these numbers to hit. So you have a 1 in 37 chance that it's gonna work on whatever number you
You
bet.
win 33 times. So if you put $100 and your number comes out, you got $3,300.
Quick question.
35.
$35.
Is roulette the one with the
circle.
circle? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So when I'm saying all that to say this, people will know the odds, but and I hate that I gotta add the cliche thing to this: no risk, no reward. If you really think about it, I've had 3 good girls in my life, and I risked. I'm gonna say I truly risked one of them.
But you see,
But I knew I would get another one. I just didn't know when it would be.
but you see, not to counter and argue that, Rico,
Yeah.
just for the audience and for the
Yeah.
record, the odds are with you to get another one.
And that's what I'm
You understand
saying.
what
Yeah,
Unless she's this exceptional woman, then the odds are
Yeah.
against you.
Or unless you are not what Erin was saying, the best version of yourself, the odds start to deplenish.
I agree with that. Yeah, that makes sense. So if you did break up in a 10-year relationship, you want the odds to be with you.
Well, yeah, okay, obviously, number one, you want to stunt. But number two, like,
You can't stun if the odds ain't with you.
no. What I'm saying
Like,
is
if
that,
nobody's
like,
checking for you, who cares?
That's a bad word. Stunt is a bad word.
Maybe we don't look at stunt.
He's thinking stunt like you pull up with a Bentley truck.
No,
Stunt
not
could be like she looking good.
like
and
you walk in and like.
But if she's like, I'm like, you can't stunt like you're a 10 and you're like a 3, and you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
No, but that's what I'm saying. You go
gotta
get
get your
yourself
3.
together.
She said spend the $8,500.
Yeah, like you go get you go get yourself together.
We're not giving medical advice, but
Whether like I said, if you're not into diet and exercise, that's your thing. Go get your body done. Go get your face, together. Get you some good skincare. Buy some good makeup. Learn how to what clothes look good on you. I think so you can be your absolute best, because at the end of the day, you've probably lost yourself a little bit in the relationship. You don't seek to look and be your best every single day because you were in that long-term relationship, and that's on both parties.
If you're in a long-term relationship and you coming out of it, the odds are not with you.
As you are.
The odds are not with you. 10 years,
Right.
You said 12 months, right?
It takes you 12 months if you're a guy to bounce back for real.
Because the odds are not with you.
The odds not with you. Well, you gotta think about it.
Crying in the middle of the night with a new joint because you don't got yourself together.
People are.
Well, you gotta spend time alone, I guess.
Well, people like
Maybe
to
that's just
discredit the fact that we are. No matter what it is, everybody is a routinely person in some capacity.
Big facts.
So when you have 10 years of a routine, and the routine could be totally inconsistent, but it's an inconsistent routine for that decade, and you think that you're about to come out swinging out of a 10-year relationship as your best self in 3 months, you're a fool.
Yeah, you gotta be crazy.
You gotta get your footing.
Yeah.
But it's like being a boxer at 24 and you have some epiphany and you quit. And now you're 34, you have a new epiphany. You're like, I'm going back in the ring. You are going to get rocked.
Yeah.
You can't just come back outside.
You don't fit this.
Unless you've always been keeping yourself together.
Nah.
Me, like myself.
For instance,
Yeah, I can
Mike
do it.
Tyson. Mike Tyson has never stopped training. He was probably still doing something even when he was overweight and eating.
But Mike Tyson
ding-dongs.
could not fight.
He can't fight a heavyweight.
Yeah, a real one. He fought
I know.
another old person who hasn't been
yeah.
training.
Well, he could definitely beat somebody younger than him. I'm not saying somebody who was as good
Mike
as him in
Tyson
his
could
prime.
beat 85% of people up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he's a professional fighter. But the 15% in his weight class would be a difficult fight.
Absolutely. But what I'm saying is
Difficult.
that
He'll get killed out there.
if you
Tough.
yeah,
if you always what's the word? I think if you always are your best self and you come out of that relationship, I think the numbers favor you a bit more than having been a person who kind of lost yourself.
Bouncing back.
Because you going all the way down to go all the
You
way
and
up.
Rico both always say this, and I'm gonna ask both of y'all an honest question. Both of y'all,
Okay.
because I know y'all, so I'm gonna say, right?
I'm just looking for
That
God.
clip that I have put of Amanda, when Amanda was like, "I can't be scammed by no scammer." I know y'all,
I probably could be shit.
right?
There's some real professionals out here.
So
They get better every year.
Right.
honest question for both of you guys.
Mm-hmm.
Are you guys keeping up with yourselves? Because both of y'all keep up with yourselves. Rico's always in the gym. You're always working out. You guys are always keeping yourselves tip-top shape.
Mm-hmm.
Are you guys doing that for the person you're with? Or are you guys doing that for the market in case you need it to go back to the market?
It's for me, without a doubt. It's for me. But if I have to go back on the market,
I'm ready.
it ain't that much I'm gonna have to do. I might go get a little lipo or something, but otherwise, skin's still good, face still intact.
She's funny as hell.
I still wear a size 6, so
So it's for the market or it's for you then?
No, it's truly for me. I promise you, it's for me.
To be good at the market.
It's for me because I want to look nice.
Okay.
Think about it. You don't ever want to show up to like a reunion or something.
You know what the crazy thing is?
What?
Yo, right, I'm gonna flip it because I agree, but I get what you're saying, but I want to let you know I believe, and this is just me believing, it is for the market, but it's because the market makes you happy, right? Your value in the market will make you happy because if the market, like you said, you want to look nice, and we can have the political answer and say, I think I look great, whatever. I don't care what people say.
Thank you, Rico.
Which is bull, right? But if you want to look nice, that means you have to look nice to the market because you receive compliments from the market. So really, it's not, I'll try to keep my best top, and I'll say this proudly, it is for the market. It's to keep myself at a high value in the market so I can get more opportunities in the market. If this, what I got right here don't work going on, I don't have to worry about falling down. I'm going to go right back over here. There's something else that's high in the market with me. It's the market.
I get, and that's a valid point.
That's a very valid point, though.
But I guess from my perspective, because I'm still a person, I work like a regular 9-to-5 job. Like,
No, you don't work a regular job. Yo,
Hold the time.
yo, can you stop this?
no, but I'm
Are
saying,
you an average person?
okay, compare.
Because regular and average to me are the same.
When I say 9 to 5,
Yeah.
meaning like you don't work a 9 to 5.
No.
I do work a 9 to 5. So what I'm saying is that like,
It's not a regular 9 to 5.
yeah, but
I work I
4 hours out of the day.
You work a top tier
No.
9 to 5, not a regular 9 to 5.
okay. let me change
Is
what
your
I'm
lunch
saying.
an hour?
Sometimes I actually don't take lunch, or I work out for lunch or whatever, or I go run errands for
An
lunch.
hour and a half,
You know,
90 minutes.
you know, I might go to the doctor for lunch or go to Wegmans. I don't know, like I never because.
You have time. You have time.
Yeah, you don't have to clock in and out. Like when they say 30 minutes.
You
Yeah.
know what somebody that works 9 to 5 have to do? They have to work from 9 to 5.
I do work. Okay, but this is the difference. Sometimes I might work 9 to 9. You know what I mean?
That's an entrepreneur spirit. I work 7 to
7 to
midnight, 1 o'clock. 3
I still work for the
7
man.
to 7.
Maybe that's a better. I work for the man. But what I'm saying is that
Let me
like
rephrase it for you. You're a well-paid executive level person.
Yeah.
who I still work a traditional job.
Okay.
Like
I like that word.
compared.
I don't like. Let's switch the whole 9 to 5
I work a
negative
traditional.
connotation and say there's nothing wrong. I work a traditional job.
But see, that's the thing. I don't understand why people associate a 9 to 5 job with being a bad thing. And I say this all the time about being average. Being average is.
It's in the wording.
No, I get it. It has a negative connotation, but I really don't understand why. If people understand what it means, what the dictionary says it is, like, do people have a
It's in the
problem with
wording.
it?
Just call it traditional.
Well, I also do believe because it is in the wording, and there also is a difference between the wordings because regular 9
I
to
get
5
it.
is like, you know,
job.
it's
It's
regular.
Best Buy.
I used to work at Meat City. That was a 9 to 5.
Yeah.
A meat market.
Okay. You used to be a butcher?
Nah, I was a kid. I was in high school.
Oh,
They
oh,
Put me
okay.
in the freezer to break turkey wings.
He brought something since
I thought you were a butcher.
we all had a regular 9 to 5 in high school, all right?
I used to work at a grocery store. One of my
Yeah.
most favorite jobs.
I worked at a roller skating ring.
Oh, I bet that was
But
fun.
wait, we got to get back
Yeah.
to Rico because Rico did not answer the question.
No, I did.
No, he did.
I said it is for the market. I say it proudly.
So just in case you don't have to go back.
Listen, the way
The market always matters, is what he
listen,
said.
for those of you that are listening, the way Rico has been making money for the last 5.5 years is for being a valuable person on the market. So the second that I think I'm gonna not be valuable on this market, for
Gonna impact you.
I can't afford that.
So now let's go back. Right?
Mm-hmm.
I have a question for you. A sugar mama or a sugar daddy, right? He wasn't always in shape and she wasn't always in shape. She caught her a young boy. He caught him a young joint.
Mm-hmm.
Is he keeping himself together now for her or the market?
Yo, he controls the
He's not
market.
keeping- but he's not. Is he keeping himself together?
Now he is because he doesn't want to lose her.
Oh,
and
because
she
he has a
doesn't-
young. Oh, okay. Probably for her.
So it is possible to be in tip-top
Fuck
shape.
no, it's not for her.
I think it's probably for
That's
her.
when it's for you. Because here's the thing, right? If I'm
But he wasn't doing it before her.
and he didn't need to, and he still doesn't need to. See,
Right. So that's what I don't. That's what I'm not.
So
clear
what?
on.
So that's what I'm saying. If a sugar dad or a sugar mama or a sugar daddy Ugh, that sounds good. A sugar pops and a sugar mom and a sugar mom, right, are getting something or someone, right, and they're not valuable in the market physically. They don't need it. First of all, they control the market because they got this. So I could tell you what I want, but what happens is, and I said this to Ed before, when you meet somebody who actually makes you motivated to get back to your best,
Yeah.
that's when it's truly for you. So like if that sugar mama or that sugar pops is like, yo, you know what? You look good. Let me get back into the gym.
So Rico,
Yeah.
so let me ask you a question. So if you were single and you met a woman who's 54, 55 years old, beautiful, kept herself together.
Let me show you a picture so we
I had
can
an argument.
so
I
we
had
can
an
put
argument 3 days ago about
and
this.
she said to you, she's gonna go get her body done to please you. Is she doing it for you or the market?
Well, if she says that, she's blatantly doing it for me and the market. Because she wants somebody like me, who else is in the market, to appreciate her. And she's also competing with the market.
To not make her getting her body done at 54 looks good enough to not look crazy.
And
'Cause
alongside
you could be
me.
like, look how she look. So people, your peoples would be like, oh yeah, she's beautiful.
She wants it. And then if it doesn't work out with me, she could get someone else like me.
This is the woman. Like I think she's one of the most like she's a nice body, she's pretty.
Yo, listen.
Can we zoom into that? Can we zoom into it?
No, it's somebody's like Instagram. Can we do that? I don't know.
Instagram's a public thing.
Oh, true.
So shout out to I Am. She's actually live right now.
Oh. But like
I Am Miss
Bo.
We're gonna put it up.
Like she got her skin
What's her
is
name?
nice. She's in shape. She got a.
She's old.
What's her name?
I don't know how old she is, but she's not young.
Nah, she's definitely old. She's like 60s.
I would say she's definitely in her 50s.
But see, like, I ain't gonna lie to you.
Let me see.
If this was a sugar mama that came to me, I wouldn't be really like moved by it. Like, I'm cool.
No, like scroll through her like.
Bernice Burgos is somebody that I'm thinking about.
No, she's like 42.
Okay, she's like.
She's not even old.
She's almost double my
old
age.
to people who's young.
I'm in my 20s, right?
But
And she's 42.
So in my mind, it's different. Like this is like what I'm talking about. Like this age.
67?
This lady ain't no 67.
All right, 63.
I don't know.
She's in her 60s.
If she's 63, she look good as hell.
She does look good for her age, and I ain't going to discredit her.
She's about
Nicole Murphy. Put her.
Her, absolutely.
Nicole Murphy.
This one definitely, she gives me Nicole Murphy
Nicole
vibes.
Murphy only makes like $1 million a month.
Let's actually be realistic. Jennifer Lopez.
No, Jennifer Lopez is bad, yo.
Exactly,
Yeah.
but she keeps herself
Definitely.
bad for what? The market.
Yo, bro,
Yeah, and
that
she's
woman-
beautiful.
And I'm gonna say something. If you ever been,
And she out here lying talking about she ain't doing no procedure. She a no
I don't
procedure my
care if
ass.
she's doing procedures.
No, I don't either, but I'm just saying let's not lie about
I'm
it.
gonna
That's
tell
her pet
this
peeve.
to the guys. If you out here bashing women, blah blah blah, hold this, hold that, I hear you. But Jennifer Lopez has always managed to only land the top tier
Tier men.
guys.
After
She's
God.
never
yep.
gone down on men, like never.
But why would she?
That is an anomaly.
Have you seen Bill
It
Gates?
is?
That is
Bill
an
Gates'
anomaly.
new Bill Gates' ex-wife's boyfriend was like a school teacher, or something like that, right?
No, that's Jeff Bezos.
Jeff Bezos. My fault. This is what I'm talking about.
Jennifer Lopez went from Diddy to Ben Affleck.
I think
to
A-Rod.
you can't compare her to.
Okay, she's not J-Lo. I get it. But J-Lo.
Yeah,
but-
they're in like totally
can't-
different.
She
Like
can't
So
bash
okay, think
another
about
woman.
Rihanna. Rihanna's the same thing.
what?
Look at Rihanna's.
No, what about her? What are you saying about
Her history too. She landed some top tier.
She stays top tier. There's
Yeah.
people, and I think that if you're gonna break up with somebody, you need to understand what you're gonna catch next if you want to be realistic.
Don't go lower.
Well, no, the market might drop your stock. It just is. What
I don't
it
know.
is.
I agree with that. You can't go
I ain't
lower.
going lower.
How? It depends what the look. When you are,
I hear what you're saying.
I'm gonna leave this because I want to go into the topic. So I'm gonna say this very, very clear. When you're in a relationship, you're in what they call a private company. In a private company, the finances remain in the office of the private company. In a private company, wins and losses are stayed within the private company.
Yeah.
You do not belong to the public. When you become single, you are doing what we want to call an IPO. This is your initial public offering. When you do an IPO and you think you're going to get $100 a stock, $100 a share, and that bell rings at 9:30, and your stock opens up at 100, and at 9:31 it's trading at $6.10, and by 10:15 it's trading at $1.
Yeah.
The market is not for you. Or it could open at 100 and go to 300. But just know
It's going to be going up and
But
down. though.
Alan, I think one thing that we have to think about is when you enter the market, you're obviously not the same person as when you leave the market, you're not the same person as when you're going to re-enter
to make
it.
an honest assessment.
Right.
But you could be better.
And that's what I was about to say.
You can't be better.
Why?
You cannot keep yourself better.
Okay, cool.
No,
You cannot be better.
I agree.
You cannot be better if you did not keep yourself better.
Well, that's my whole point. You have to stay there. You can't would you say always stay hot? You can't ever go cold.
I gotta say this,
Cold, it's over.
and this is
You gotta stay hot.
Look.
Like I'm.
Or you don't gotta stay hot. You gotta stay warm at least.
Nah,
No,
you gotta say
hot.
You did tell me that one time. You was like, "Yo, hey, you could put the stove fire." So, but that's kind of still keeping it
lit.
staying hot.
You gotta stay lit.
Yo, let me tell you something. When I was young,
With the
me and my
pilot.
boy-
Yeah, you don't gotta have the high flame, but you just stay lit.
But you dead. And I always tell people, I'm like, yo, you trying to do the most. You know, your record came out 1.5 years, 2 years ago. You can't be walking in front of the club like they know you. Like, chill.
And you get in general
Get
ed.
back hot, and you're gonna be
And then
okay.
walk in front of the
Yeah.
club.
Because there's gonna be a point when you do it, you're gonna embarrass yourself, and you're gonna embarrass the people next to you.
Mm-hmm.
And you're gonna have to start insulating yourself with people that's gonna tell you what you want to hear.
Yeah.
And that's why I wanted to say this, right? It took me a long time to say this, right? Because I had to reprogram my mind from always hearing what everybody says. The most important thing in life is to care what other people think.
Really?
It's the most important thing.
I need the rest of it.
Because, we kind of touched upon it. In order to stay hot, what you got to do? Care what other people think. You can't stay hot if you don't care what they think. Because if they're saying...
I get the rationale.
If they say yellow pants is not a thing and everybody says no and you take that risk and you lose, you should have listened to what other people think.